What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video, creating a sketch illustration of Venom from Venom the Last Dance. Welcome back everyone and thanks for joining me today. For today's lesson we'll need a sketch pad and a pencil. I'll be sketching with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick, but you're welcome to use whatever you like. Now I want to start by adding some guidelines in the center of our page. So let's start at the very top in the middle. Just going to lightly sketch a line coming down the center using these short lines. And then along the top, we're going to draw another line going across from left to right. Let's use these two lines to help us create a circle along the top of our page. From that center point, we're going to move up to the top, mark off the top of our circle. Now we're going to measure this distance from the center down towards the bottom and do the same thing. Let's repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center all the way over toward the left, and then the right side. Now to create our circle, all we need to do is connect the center point of each mark with a curve. So let's start with the top left, and the circle doesn't have to be perfect. We're just using this as a guide, and we can always come back and just smooth this out. Just going all the way around. Now I want to add another guideline coming down the side of our circle. So let's start with the left side, coming all the way down. And want to make sure that the distance from the left to the center is the same across the bottom. Now we're going to add one more guideline going across the bottom of the circle, and the eyes will sit along this bottom line. Now with our circle and guidelines in place, let's start blocking out the facial features. I'm going to start with the inside edge of the brow. From the center along the bottom, we're going to draw a triangle. We're going to go up from the left, and then back down. Now from the bottom, we're just going to draw a straight angle line going up toward the left side of our circle, and do the same thing on the right. Now on the left side, we're going to step in, curve the eye, coming down, and then in. Do the same thing on the right. Let's go to the center, step down, draw an angle line going up and out toward the left and right side. We're going to bend this across, and we'll bend that out towards the outside line. Now let's tuck the teeth in underneath. We're going to start on the left, draw a straight angle line coming down and in. Same thing on the right. Now let's close out the bottom, curving this down towards the center, towards a point. Go back up towards the right. Now we're going to go back up to the top of the teeth. Draw two straight lines coming down the side of the mouth. And goes down and then in towards the bottom. Close this off with a curve. Let's go back up to the outside, curve this in, and then down towards the jaw. Angle this down and in towards the chin, towards the bottom. And I'll close this off with a straight line. Now I'm going to pull the head forward so the shoulders sit along the top. So let's start from the left side of our circle. It's going to bend this out and then down towards the outside of our page. Now with our rough sketch in place, I'm going to go back and clean this up by erasing some of these guidelines. Now we're going to be using this rough sketch as a guide to help us layer on some more details and refine the shapes. Now I'd like to start with the inside of the eyes, so let's start with the brow. Just going to bend this up and then in towards the middle. And we're just going to add a fold across the center and just work our way across the brow. So we're going to give this a little bit more shape. Just going to bend this out and up. Add a little fold on the end. Just going to add a seam across the side of the head, just pulling this up. I'm just going to mirror that over on the right side. Just add some shape to the eye. Down. And from here, it's going to stretch the flesh coming in towards the center from the eyes. Just going to pull that skin so underneath the eyes. Add a fold around the outside. Just adding a few layers across the edge of the mouth. I'm just going to curl the mouth going up along the side, just outside the eyes. And now we're going to use this guide to help us layer in the teeth. So we're going to start right in the middle, coming down from the center, and then up towards the left. I'm just going to add these little points going up towards the outside of the mouth. Again, staying within that boundary. Do the same thing on the right side. Now you can see that I'm leaving a gap along the top, and we're going to place the gum line in the side. So go back to the center, just going to connect each of these points with a curve. we're going to add a guideline for the bottom row of teeth. It's going across with a curve. And again, we're going to stay within that boundary. Let's add the teeth going up and then out towards the side. And then connecting the gum line. I'm just going to add some drips coming down across the inside of the mouth. Just coming down from the teeth. And just adding a trim around the mouth, coming down towards the chin. Now right along here, it's going to add some drips coming down, just working our way across. Just going to add a little bit more shape to the outside of the head. It's going to add a fold across the cheeks, coming down towards the jaw, and coming down towards the chin. Now we're just going to add some points across the chin. Now you want to connect the head to the shoulders with these little veins going across. So we're going to start along the top and just pull that back in. So it's almost like melting across the side of the head. Just pulling that back in towards the side. And we're just going to pull this and stretch this out towards the side of our page. Open up a few little holes. And I'm going to go back and just blend that in towards the side of the head by erasing some of these guidelines. Now I'm going to switch to a thicker pencil. This is my 0.9mm. We just want to add some contrast. So I'm going to start with the eyes again. Just adding a little bit more weight to our lines across the bottom. I'm going to add thick trim going up towards the top, going around the outside of the eye. I just want to lightly shade the inside. Now with the inside of the eyes, we're going to darken up the bottom to push this into shadow, and just going to gradually fade that up to create a bit of a highlight along the top of the eyes. You also want to create a separation across the center of the face. I'm just going to lightly darken the middle, going around those wrinkles. Also across the top of the mouth. Darken the corners of the mouth, and then fade that down. just going to darken up the inside of the mouth, starting from the outside. And I'm just going to gradually fade that towards the center. Just add a little bit of shading to the top of the brow. Now inside the neck area, I'm just going to add some veins going across. Just pulling these out and just branching them off. And then we'll go back and just trace those veins along the outside. Just adding a little bit of thickness. And then we're going to darken up the area outside of the jaw and head, in between the veins, and just fade that out. So we're just casting a shadow along the outside. Now I want to add a core shadow to the bottom of each shape. This will help give some form and roundness to our character. So we're just leaving a little bit of a gap along the bottom edge to create a bit of a highlight. So I'll just demonstrate this across the brow. Adding a little bit of highlight along the bottom edge, and then just fading that up. And now we're just going to add some veins going across the head. Starting from the brow, just going to wobble these lines going around. And want to add some branches going out. I can go back and add some thickness to each of those veins. We're just going to bring some of those veins across the neck area and then just fade them out. as we get near the end, it's going to tighten up our shadows, then a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of Venom. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you do, please be sure to subscribe for more daily videos where I'll show you how to draw different characters just like this. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon.